Hello student, today we are going to discuss problems in polarization from which one problem is definitely is going to ask in NEET and JEE 26. Let's start. Polarization of light proves the transverse nature of light. Option 3 is the correct answer. Out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 3. Waves that cannot be polarized are longitudinal wave. Light wave is transverse wave, electromagnetic wave, transverse wave, transverse wave. Longitudinal waves cannot be polarized. Out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 4. The angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized for reflection from air to glass. Refractive index n is tan I equal to mu. So I equal to tan inverse mu. So out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 4. The polarized glass in propagation of electromagnetic waves, the angle between direction of propagation and plane of polarization is. Dear student, in the propagation of electromagnetic wave, electric field vector and magnetic vector oscillates perpendicular to the direction of motion of electromagnetic wave. And the plane of polarization is the plane containing direction of motion and electric field vector. Electric vector remains perpendicular to direction of motion. Okay, so angle is 90 degree. Out of 4 choice, the correct answer is option 3. A beam of light strikes a piece of glass at an angle of incidence 60 degree and the reflected beam is completely plane polarized. When reflected beams remains completely polarized, then this angle remains equal to Brewster angle. Then the index of refraction mu equal to tan I. Since mu is given √3, so I will be equal to 60 degree. So out of 4 choice, the correct answer is √3 because I is 60 degrees. So mu will be equal to √3. Okay. Mu equal to tan I. When I equal to 60 degree, this mu will be √3. Okay. Out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 2. A polaroid is placed at 45 degree to an incoming light of intensity I node. Now the intensity of light passing through the polaroid after polarization would be I node cos square theta. Cos square theta cos 45 degree means 1 upon √2 square. Means this will be I node upon 2. So out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 2. This is a very good question, most expected question for NEET JEE 26 to Nicole Prism. Are first crossed and then one of them is rotated through 60 degree. Cross means angle between transmission axis is 90 degree. Now one is rotated by 60 degrees. Percentage of incident light transmitted is. This is the initial position. In the transmission axis. Now one is rotated by 60 degree. Now angle between transmission axis becomes 30 degree. Okay. Now we know whenever any unpolarized light passes through polaroid, its intensity becomes I node upon 2. And when once again it will pass through 30 degree transmission axis, I naught upon 2 cos square 30 degree. So I naught upon 2 cos 30 is root 3 upon 2 whole square. This is I naught upon 2. This is 3 upon 4. So this is 3 by 8 I naught. So percentage is how much? 3 by 8 into 100. This is 37.5%. Out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 3. Out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 3. A ray of unpolarized light is incident on a glass plate at polarizing angle 57 degree. Then the reflected ray will be completely polarized and transmitted ray will be partial polarized. Okay, this is the basic concept. So out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 2. A ray of light is incident on the surface of a glass plate at an angle of incidence equal to Brewster angle. Mu represents the refractive index of the glass with respect to air, the angle between the reflected and transmitted ray. It will be 90 degree. Out of 4 choice, the correct answer is option 3. The fact that light is a transverse wave phenomenon derives its evocated support from the observation that light shows the polarizing effect. Okay. So out of 4 choice, the correct choice is option 3. Now in assertion, light waves can be polarized. Light wave can be polarized. This is correct. Because light waves are transverse. It is because light waves are transverse in nature. Both assertion region are true and region is correct expression of assertion. So option 4 is the correct answer. Out of 4 choice, option 4 is the correct answer. Assertion, diffraction of sound wave is difficult to observe than diffraction of light wave. This is wrong. Sound wave can be easily detected. Okay, diffraction can easily be takes place. Region, wavelength of light is very small as compared to the wavelength of sound. Wavelength of light is very small as compared to the wavelength of sound. Yes, this is true. Region is true. Region is also true. Wavelength of light is very small as compared to wavelength of sound. Region is true. Diffraction of sound wave is difficult to observe than diffraction of light waves. So assertion is wrong. Region is true. Assertion is wrong. Wavelength of light wave is very small. Region is false. Here data are not matching. The angle of incidence at which reflected light is totally polarized for reflection from air to glass refractive index. I equal to 10 inverse N. Out of 4 choice, the correct answer is option 4. When an unpolarized light of intensity I naught is incident upon a polarizing sheet, the intensity of light which does not get transmitted, this is equal to I naught upon 2. So option 1 is the correct answer.